everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hello. I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's well. I am great, thanks. Good. I'm going on 2 hours early because of ESCOM. I'll try and keep it half an hour. My partner hasn't submitted his video, my guest. So, we're just getting ready. And I will start as soon as I'm comfortable. I'm just trying to see here what's going on. It's my second live video. I did the trial run before, you remember? I hope everybody's good. Just look at the light, eh? Okay, let me make my screen bigger. Alright. Without further ado, welcome. Thank you. I've had to now improvise what I planned to do because there's load shedding at 12 and my event is meant to be at 1. So that's like throwing me off, like in a big way. I had to cancel. Other artists have time commitments, so I had to cancel them, and we carry on, We don't complain, we dance around the punches, and we punch back. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, so my presentation is called The Man Who Loved Women. How does it go? Let me start with Belovedest, right? Belovedest to me, that's my ex, and one of the women I love the most. Before her, I thought I was impossible to love, right? So I call her the gold standard as well, because she was so beautiful. Couldn't believe she's my girlfriend. She's really beautiful. And then after her, I made sure everybody else I'm with is really beautiful, so she doesn't point at me and say, Now, one time we'd broken up and we used to talk. At that time, I was in the streets a lot, Streets is not being a criminal. It's just getting out of the house. In Maritzburg, it's dangerous, When you go to parties, we used to go to parties with weapons and stuff like that because we might get in a fight. So I got used to that, and people were always provoking me. So I had a bunch of enemies, and I'd tell her, should I die, I want you to come to my funeral in a miniskirt, looking great, and I want all my girls to come through. By that time, I got like a few girls. I'm single, but I'm not with her, but I talk with her a lot. And I'm like, guys, you gotta come there and you just gotta perform and just cry, extra animated, At my funeral, I want all my guys this side and all my girls that side. Right. I'm saying that to say, one day I'm at home. I think before I graduated from university, and there are these movies that come on SABC. This movie comes on. When it starts, all you see is legs, like the just below the knees, just above the knees. You see this woman walking. Lots of women. It's the funeral of this guy, and I'm like, what? This is what I used to talk about. With Beloved is like, this is exactly what I used to talk about. And then the title of the movie blew my mind. The Man Who Loved Women. So I'm just like, oh my goodness. Let me watch this movie. And yes, it's the funeral of this guy who was with all these different women. And then the movie goes back to the beginning now. And this guy, he couldn't focus. He'd be with this one girl, and then he's walking around and doing his business. Then he sees another woman, and he goes and follows her and forgets about the one. The other one even moved in to his place. And she's at his house, beautiful woman. At his house, he sees another woman. People like that. I know some people like that as well. They grown and everything. Now here's the funny part: how he dies. How he dies is He's on a date, if I'm not mistaken. But he goes outside to his car or something like that, and he sees a woman across the road, and he's rushing to go to this woman, and the car hits him. Boom. That was the end of him. Now we were like that in university, because university is like a collection of like smart, beautiful women from around the world, right? So my friends, I had friends like that. We'd be walking, and he sees a woman, and he just breaks away from the crowd and just goes goes with her. I would do the same as well, definitely. So back to my thing now. We're talking about this book here, Woman Love 365, and one of the chapters here is about how I'm a trained misogynist. A misogynist is somebody. Sorry, I keep looking at myself instead of looking at the camera, but you know, I'll get it right. A misogynist is someone who doesn't respect women, who has no respect for women. So I have a chapter called Trained Misogynist. I'm a trained misogynist, which is what the concept of what I'm talking about is about. Because when we're young, we're taught to not respect women. They ask boys, how many girlfriends do you have? And the girl must be good. You know, she must be a good girl forever. You as boyfriends, how many girlfriends do you have? As you approach your teens, have you had sex yet? You know, when you're a teenager, it's like, how many girlfriends do you have again? Have you had sex? We get to varsity, and now it's like a free for all. You know, because they're just there. It's not like your regular life where you might meet a girl at a party, and they're just there. They're just everywhere. Oh my goodness, paradise. But I've always been wanted to have to beat one girl. So there's another chapter here about Dream Girl, how rejection made me a better man. So there was a lady, her name is Loazi. Uh, she also was so beautiful. See, Belovedest was like hotter than her. But before I met Belovedest, I had met this other girl. She was incredible. Really smart, beautiful, nice legs, you know. Um, and I knew that I had to be something. She was from a well-off family as well, you know. She'd been to France to deliver stuff. She could speak French to do presentations, you know. So I had to be something great before she came by. So part of my thing was I was just waiting for her. But then I meet Belovedest, who dated for a year, and then I'm seeing other girls. Uh, After we break up with Belovedest, you know, ups and downs. I'm not as nice. Even with Belovedest, I had this thing where I thought, okay, you can't hit a woman because she can't hit you back, but you can sway her because she can sway you back. Not realizing sometimes a woman is scared to sway you back because you're bigger than her, right? So that's a verbal abuse. So that was my thing. I've never been like a physically abusive guy. I smacked a girl when I was 8 years old, and I was told it's wrong, and I never did it again. And then as I grew up, I saw a lot of domestic violence, gender-based violence, not just in my home, but with cousins, with friends, you know. You see your homegirl with a big eye, or you hear your friend hit his girl. So I saw a lot of that stuff. But with me, it was just more verbal. You know, you, you, you act like a, that kind of stuff, right? Now I might raise my voice, and if we're arguing and you say, don't raise your voice, I try and calm down, but sometimes, you know, we're arguing. But I'm not abusive. I don't believe I am, you know. People like to accuse you of things. It's an argument. It's in the heat of the moment, but nobody's being called names or anything. Um, so my writing tries to be a journey. My music tries to be a journey from all that innocence, and innocently being harmful because you think if I'm not punching a woman, I'm a good guy. You know, if I'm not cheating on my girlfriend, I'm a good guy. But there's all these other things like, do your sisters do all the cooking and cleaning at home? You know, that affects your marriage at some point because now you will think your wife should do all the cooking and cleaning because your sisters were doing it. That's what women were doing. And then you end up with complicated relationships because women work too nowadays, right? So it's gotta be a balancing act of responsibilities, of taking care of each other, helping with the babies, you know, changing diapers. I talk about my married life a little bit, changing diapers and all that kind of stuff. And just so it's about daily love, these little things where you're helping with, uh, when a woman has just had a baby, she's tired and everything. So sometimes you gotta just take the baby and sit up all night. If you're not working, if you're working, you still gotta also wake up when she wakes up. Things like that, man. So that's what the book's about. It's about the mothers who are abused by their children. I know so many situations like this. The man's approaching 40, won't move out of home, um, and maybe she doesn't want him to move out of home, but then he runs her like a maid. He doesn't contribute financially. He doesn't contribute in terms of maintaining the premises, changing light bulbs. These things happen. So we talk about not respecting the elders, the way it's common for parents to be single parents, and then we keep it going. Um, I opened the book with a story about my first fiance. Love that woman. She was about to go to London, so we got engaged, and then she left the next day. Um, we friends. I talk about these things because it shows that life goes on. You don't have to hurt a person. You don't have to be destructive in dealing with the disappointment of relationships. Now, women are abusive too. There's a chapter about dealing with an abusive woman. Um, it's a difficult one because the woman, when they abuse you, their abuse is not necessarily illegal. It's not necessarily visible. We have this man pride, these unwritten things that as a man you're supposed to do. So when you're told you're not a man, you're not good enough at this and that, constantly, even when you're trying, even when you are good enough, maybe you're not a millionaire yet, and you needed to be a millionaire next year, uh, and then just is not nice to you, doesn't do what she's supposed to do in terms of your agreement. So I talk about things like that. We talk about fun topics like gold diggers. I have categories of gold diggers. But the loving of the woman is about that. I even enjoy the gold diggers. I'm like, some of them are good for you. Because she's like, we need to be rich. Let's make a plan together. Some are like, he's rich. He's going to do everything for me. I'm going to get in that relationship and do nothing but spend the money. We don't want that, you know? So it's also love from the woman. They must be loving towards you as well so that it all works nicely. Um, People ask me all the times about, you work with so many women. You work with so many women. When I was studying international relations, I remember asking my professor, um, Dr. Ufo Uzodige, I said, I just need to understand something. Women do all the homework. They help us with our homework. They are diligent. They the ones who get all the A's usually, the smarter pupils. Why are they not running the world? Why aren't they bigger in the business world? He said it's usually the biological clock. So they are in a hurry to start families before um, menopause and before a certain age. So what they do is they kind of get out of the working world. As soon as they get married, they don't become that ambitious because they want to raise their children. I get that. But the point I'm trying to make is in my question. Why these women, we copy their homework? Yeah, you do. They help us with the homework. They understand the stuff, but they're no way run. So you know that they're smarter in many ways or more disciplined. When it was time to work with the rappers in the hip hop world, doing poetry events, because there was a lot more poets and there were fewer rappers when I started in Maritzburg, but you had a situation where the show is also better. Some of the rappers who were there weren't the greatest of performers, but the poets are always good, whether they're reading or reciting, right? So that's what I do. I found that the women were more disciplined. They show up more. Yes, there were some bad apples, definitely, but the women were disciplined in terms of if she's your graphic designer, if she comes to the event, she's focused, she's working. The guys are more interested in, oh, look at that one, she's hot. I need a phone number. Do you know her? Who's that poet? Like I've hired some woman to work with me, and here the guy trying to get lucky. I had to deal with a lot of that, and just being let down. And again, the diligence. So the woman that did my business proposals, I was taught by a woman how to do a Cuba. My girlfriend later on, she taught me how to do a report, feedback report. She gave me the structure for it. Um, there's been things like websites. Two women did my website. I mean, I've dealt with 3 or 4 guys who say we're gonna do the website. When you start the process, it's just so slow. Lots of talking and never acting. So I found women more diligent. And also, if you look at our families, I don't know about other races, but in my side, in the black world, women run the world. Women are the ones who are doing good stuff. The men usually are the drinkers. I'm not dissing my race, right? It's been my experience. I guess there's frustration from all this oppression or whatever. Then again, it means the women are stronger because they still do what they gotta do. I used to stay with my aunt Makosi at one time. Uh, Sorry to say her name, but that's my heart. Hello, auntie. Um, she had a gardening service, and he was an Indian guy, and he had mostly women there, if not only women. I think there was one man, and we had a conversation. People love talking to me; they just tell me everything. And he said, "You know why I work with women? It's because women take the money home when when it's payday. The men go and get drunk, and I've seen that the women do stuff for their children. It's groceries, it's this and that. So if I'm trying to employ these people to alleviate poverty, what's the point of hiring people who drink their money? You understand? So that's why it ended up with me having a whole lot of women in my life. And of course, I develop affection. I'm supposed to be a protective brother, and that's what I am. The poets, I used to fall in love at every poetry event. Oh my goodness. There was a lady called Za. There was Solistic Fezega. There was this girl, she called herself Black Rose. My friend Pili Lenduli, Raw Trueness, Sands. There are all these women, this is the early 2000s now, with knowledge of self society, COS, and Poetry and Urban Activism Society, which was our thing in the university. COS was more in town. Started as knowledge of self sessions. I needed those women at my events. I needed people to fall in love with them too and keep coming to watch and the wisdom they had. They were so young, but they had so much depth and wisdom. It was just amazing to see these beautiful black women with so much to offer, with a mind, and they babies, they deep, they rebellious, they're not subservient, they're not submissive, they're not docile, they're strong and they're powerful and they're babies. Some of them were in high school, about to finish, high school and everything. And so I kept those close to me. And when I did my events, they'd be there. They'd be so supportive as well. So I kept them close to me. And it became an issue like that where it's like you've got these friendships and relationships and these brotherhoods and sisterhoods. And now you can see that you need to spread this message. The abuse is happening. So you keep trying your best to get this culture of let's be protective of the sisters. Um, Everything we're seeing out there is not right. You don't want them to be played by some boy. I remember this friend of mine. She was so pretty. She used to look at me like with so much love, and I thought she wanted me. And I tried to kiss her. She was so hurt and offended, and I felt so bad. But I got to make it up because the one time um, I invited them to hang with us, and it was them and about 3 friends, and we just kicked it. We watched some movies, and we just sat there and had some drinks, and then they left. And she thanked me for that. She said it was so nice to be with a guy who doesn't try anything, you know. And I was like, wow, I made it up. I got the balance right. And so sometimes I deal with situations like that where you find I'm a loving guy, man. My mother used to say we're from a kissing family. You know, we kiss on the cheek. My Xhosa aunt, my mom is Xhosa. They kiss on the mouth when they see you. I think they Phuza since we were kids. Phuza is drink you. Let me drink you. It's so funny. So they'd kiss you. And I remember my big brother, Sensei, he's a karate, Sensei Os. Uh, when they try and kiss him, we just go like this and then they get the lip, the cheek, you know. So my mother was saying we'd get in trouble because we were from a kissing family. You're gonna offend your friends. I kiss women on the cheek. It's instinct. To me, it's a thing of saying I don't want you, but people see it as the opposite. When I kiss you on the cheek, it's a sign of respect. You're beautiful, but I don't want you. You know, but I don't want you, but you're not repulsive. I don't know. That's my little logic in my head. So I kiss on the cheek, and you find some my friends that kiss me on the lips. Small colored people and white people who do that. The hugging thing, that's white people stuff, but we've adopted it too. But you'll find with the different races as well. And I'm talking South Africa. Some people find like a hug awkward. Some people find kissing on the cheek very awkward. You know. So it's those things that are daily thoughts, daily things to think about, because it's about kind sphere, personal space again, right? Individual rights. She doesn't want you so close to her if you don't know her, if you're just colleagues. Some things are inappropriate. I was so disappointed recently. One of my homegirls, I said, I love your work and I love you, excuse me. And she says, one love is more appropriate. I just thought, wow, I've never met her. I kind of know her through a friend. She's always supported my online activity. She once defended me when I won the hip hop award or was nominated. I saw that. That touched me. I saw her do. I saw that she has albums. I asked her for bank account details. I bought her one album. She sent me a Dropbox. She talks about her children, so I found that it's helping me right now because I watch her. She's working. She's away from my children. I'm away from my children because my marriage is falling apart. Um, so I love her, you know, for that. And I once had to argue with a friend of mine because we were arguing about this organization we built, and he was just giving it away to women. I felt he made he was forcing the thing of putting a woman in the place to where he chose the wrong one. I felt, you know, like, she was really irresponsible. But that was me. So we had an argument, right? And at the end of this email, I'd written him. I just said peace and love, or love, peace and blessings. That's what I said back then. He says I don't feel the love. Like I don't love him. I'm like, nah, man. I wrote him back, bro. Like I was pretty disrespectful those days, or aggressive or abrasive. I said, hear me now and listen later. My love for you cannot be challenged. I know where my love for you comes from. I know why I love you. So you don't get to tell me I don't love you. We had a disagreement about something, the love is still there. That's why I wrote love at the end. And I started to put that into effect, the homeboys. You gotta say love. You gotta say one love at the end of any discussion. It's love, you know? So it's that thing, man, you know? When you love people, there's things you'll never do. And I love women. I love men. I love my homeboys, you know? It's not a sexual thing. I love women sexually. Definitely, you know. I like one at a time in particular. That's just me. When I'm single, I'm 40 years old now, but when I'm single, you know, I call them 2-day relationships, you know. But before then, it was just like one leaves in the morning, one comes at night, and another one comes tomorrow. Didn't matter. It's a self-respect thing, you know. So that's your journey, but the abuse shouldn't be there, and the lying. Like I've never lied. I don't mind saying someone else is here. I've been told I'm too honest, but that's me. The point of this book, Woman Love 365, not only on Women's Day, is we have to be conscious of these things all the time. We have to keep it in mind. Wuti, yo, guys, these are people. We are all people. You need to come to a place, an environment, and feel safe. And that's what I wanted my events, you know. I want to have picnics here and just people kicking it and having a good time and places for children to play. We can play volleyball. We can play little soccer things. But we gotta keep that love going, and that unity and that familyhood. And especially in the black world, I feel like it's not there so much. We don't have to be rich to be relevant. We don't have to be popping bottles and spending big money and driving nice cars to be respected, man. Come on. Even if you have nothing, you're still important. You're still valuable. You still have something to say. You've seen things around in the world, and you have opinions and ideas and facts, factual knowledge that can educate somebody. So everybody's important. Your kind of beauty isn't someone's kind of beauty. There are countries where only big women are valued as beautiful. You know, Zulus have a different. We westernized now. You know, my point is that everybody's beautiful. Everybody is. It's just not your taste. But then they're not less valuable as a human being. You know, and that's important. So yeah, man. What I was trying to do is that, and I give a lot of people nicknames. I said belovedest, because of just privacy, especially if it was a romantic relationship. You know, friends sometimes, but for the most part, we carry on, because the matter, the important thing here is that we are in this experience called life together, in this journey together, and we're here to make it happen together. So thank you for tuning in. um, my music is the same. I write some songs about things like that, so it's a progression. When I was misogynistic or a player, there are songs about that, but as I grew, my content changed, and for me it's important to go back and show the progression, because I think the perfect man doesn't exist, but the closest thing to a perfect man is a guy who knows the progression of, we go from just playing hide and seek, or chasing, right? Not freeze tag. We chase you, we touch you, it's your turn to chase me. We played it in school, primary school. You want to sit next to her. That's what a girlfriend meant to me in primary school. You just want to sit next to her. As we got older, it was more, we can now go to movies. We're allowed to go to movies and kiss inside the theater, when grown-ups can't see, and then it becomes sexual, like especially in varsity, it's more sexual. So of course, some people do it early, but I'm just saying that it's a progression, and throughout all these different phases, there's no abuse, there's no harming of people, there's no, bad stuff, trauma. Inspiration once told me about how she had called an ex-boyfriend of hers. This is a 21-year-old. That's why I called her Inspiration. She was just saying these crazy things. She says, I called him and I told him, thank you, because our relationship didn't have any negative vibes. It started and then it just ended. You didn't do anything crazy to me, didn't cheat on me. Thank you for that. And I was like, wow, I used to adopt those things like that, right? And think that's a great way to be. But it's made people very suspicious, you know. So again, you gotta find yourself being a little defensive, or defending yourself, defending the fact that you love or respect somebody, you know. But it's life, man. We can't fight. So I wanna do some songs for you. Dream Girl, I wrote a song about my experience with her, and another lady friend. She made me write a song for fun, Mazume. Uh, so I'll do that song too. I'll just do them as they are on the phone. I hope you can hear them, but I'll rap along to them. Okay. It's just I had to improvise because there's no power just now, and so my camera guy is not here. And I was just doing this to see what I can do, but it turns out it's how I'm going to do this thing. So yeah, thank you for attending. Thank you for watching. Sorry the time had to change, but it's live, huh? It keeps going. This song is called Love to a Player. Ever made love to a player? Love to a player. Because I fell in love with a girl. She inspired me. But anyway, You make songs out of these things, not necessarily how you feel currently. Okay, let me go. When it comes to golf hearts, I'm a kleptomaniac. I flow during convo, her vocal aphrodisiac. I turn them on like a light switch. Cause I'm not living the game until I find the right chick. I mean, lady, forgive me already, okay? I'm trying to keep it clean, I'm looking for radio play. Look better with your top off like a cabriolet. Can I help you get it off? You got the bomb, set it off. Divinity and femininity, I need a witness. You're looking like something they should have given me for Christmas. I said to mankind, I gotta put you on my hit list. Head right when your blood's changing color like litmus paper. Definition of a flavor, sensitivity, intuition of a player. Tell plans, show me way to sick. Tell a neighbor, if getting you is luck, it's automatic than your labor. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba tawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba tawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba tawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba tawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng. It's like a mind is chill, kick out the silent look. Namatiba baki off the Robben Island. Who she just took a shower. The saints what the party must have took her hour. I'm like the rain losing power. To speak sign language and you move your hips. Translation, take my hand and introduce our lips. Dedicate a heartbeat, put your hand on my chest. Squeeze my biceps, through with mine. Say she got the head, we got a condom eyes. I condom eyes when you say make love to me. I'm organized, didn't you go have faith that all in my game? Just the truth, can't believe it's you calling my name. I wrote your poem, the song and 10 that rap song. You love me, then you tell me now, baby, that's wrong. I took you from a dream, I can take you from your man. I'm a player till I put a platinum ring on your hand. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba nawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba nawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba nawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba nawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Have you ever made love to a player? Have you ever made love to a player? Have you ever made love to a player? Wasi zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba nawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba nawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba nawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Zalam talisi ma beng bonang hamba nawe. Zalam talisi ko tang heng taleng kawe. Have you ever? Yeah, man. Just a tribute, just fun, you know. The songs have to be kind. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I don't like making people uncomfortable, you know. This one too, it's like a girl I call Almost. We almost dated, but we became friends instead. Cause everyone doesn't trust me, they get suspicious. Yeah. Woman love 365. Cause you the energy that you give to me, my Zuma. I take a breather, I catch a breath to kill death. No best without data, never fresh. I love how we communicate, you elevate the level of my concentration. Concentrate, it's easy like ABC. The universe begins with you and I, you baby me. Dealing with my doo-doo, honey, what you do, that telepathic voodoo. Boo-boo, you watch me crawl until I walk better, ignore my draw. Until I talk better, for getting pride, getting right, getting by, getting I'm getting mine. Second life is for getting by. No strings attached, but you never sabotage. We like a cordless phone. Did I lie? Forever connected, forever respected. Forever connected, forever respected. Forever connected, forever respected. Forever connected, forever respected. You lied at the entrance like a doormat, but now we got a format and you saw that. I brought it all back cause you didn't call back. I'm acting like a chick, I know, ignore that. I'm sensitive, whenever the sidekick tourist, the zodiac sign miss, I'm nosy like a sinus. I wanna know how you feeling, if you're scarred, are you healing? What type of drug you dealing? Is it love, is it lust, is it you, is it us? I ain't here to dismiss or kiss and discuss. We're feeling things, but are we feeling something? You my remedy for much more than one thing. Is it parasitic or symbiotic? I'm feeling chaotic, you're my antibiotic. My friend and my thing now, there's a string now. I wanna give you a ring now. Connected forever, respected forever, connected forever, respected forever, connected forever, respected forever, connected forever, respected. From there. Ngicela ukukusebela wasuka-sukela kodwa sozoyaphela singaphila inganekwane uma ungilalela zwakala nganeno from there come through ngicela ukukusebela wasuka-sukela kodwa sozoyaphela singaphila inganekwane uma ungilalela yeah. Woman Love 365, Woman Love 365, Woman Love 365. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching, and I'm sorry about the load shedding, the lack of electricity. I'll improve everything you want me to improve. You're gonna find this at 1 if you come here at 1, and it's my plan B, okay? I asked the other guys to send videos. I think they were not able to, and that's okay. Life goes on, okay? Big love, thank you. Woman Love 365, not only on Women's Day. Happy Valentine's to the believers. I believe in Valentine's Day. I just don't have a Valentine currently, so I'll be fine. I love. Okay, everyone, God bless you. Peace. Never can say goodbye. 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 Never can say. Oh, sorry. End live video. If you end this live video, you'll be able to choose if you want to save or delete it.